Hello and welcome to Poker News. The British online gaming company Sportingbet have now sold all their US-facing sites for $1 each to try and save costs. The buyer is an Antigua-based Jazette Enterprises Limited, who purchased the shares for a song and relieved Sportingbet of a $13.2 million debt. A win-win situation for all concerned. The deal also meant the company did not have to fork out $14 million in closing operations in the US. Andrew McIver, Sportingbet's chief executive, stated regarding the unfortunate turn of events, "The sale prevents significant closure costs, which would have both been expensive and time-consuming. It also preserves the employment of colleagues who have worked so hard to build the US operations into the highly profitable business it is today." As for Sportingbet in Europe, it will be business as usual.
Canada looks set to follow in America's footsteps, and their first effort will be a ban on direct and indirect advertising of online gaming. The provincial government feels that online gaming is too addictive and accessible for its residents. However, according to the Star newspaper, Ontario's government-owned lottery has suffered an incredible loss of $335 million over the past 3 years and is predicted to lose a further $210 million in the next year. The sudden drop in lottery profits is believed to be down to illegal gaming sites on the internet. If the jurisdiction of province has the authority to ban financial institutions from funding gaming companies, it is highly likely that it would be following in Washington's footsteps. Instead, the focus is on advertising, which allows unlawful companies to continue unpunished. A way of preventing the criminalised betting services would be to follow countries such as Britain and more recently Italy, who are in the process of regulating and taxing the industry, therefore ensuring that citizens do not give their cash to criminal outlets and in the process make billions.
In this week's Top 5, we're looking at the European Poker Tour all-time money list. At number 1 is Jeff Williams from the USA, who won the EPT Grand Final in Monte Carlo in March 2006, at the tender age of just 19. Williams was up against a field of nearly 300, including big names such as Joe Hatcham, Greg Raymer and Carlos Mortensen. However, it was Williams who pocketed a whopping £577,000. In second place is Vicky Corrin, who recently won the EPT at the Grosvenor Casino in London, when she went home with £500,000. Third place goes to Bjorn Erik Glenn of Norway, a former chess champion and a highly rated online player. Erik Glenn was victorious in the Barcelona Open in 2006, winning £463,000. In fourth position is Rob Hollink from the Netherlands, who won over £450,000 at the European Grand Final in Monte Carlo. He also came 30th at this year's 2006 Big Double in Austria, taking home £4,200. And finally, in fifth is American Brandon Schaefer, who has successes in 2 EPT events. Firstly, he won the French Open in Deauville in February 2005, picking up nearly £100,000, and in March 2005 he finished second at the Grand Final in Monte Carlo, earning him £248,000. Televised poker has created celebrity stature for those at the top of their game, but which player would you most like to emulate?
Probably Phil Hellmuth. I don't know, he's quite arrogant, you know, quite cocky, he demands a lot of respect.
Tony G. I think he's perfected the speech play, the Mudian, as we call it at the gut shot, and he's so good at it, he gets people, well, on tilt really. Gets them either to call or fold or play bad hand because they just want to get off the table. So if I could probably get my speech play up to scratch like he has, definitely would improve my game.
Probably Daniel Negreanu because of his ability to read the hands of other players.
I'm definitely not aggressive enough, so I don't know, Phil Ivey or somebody like that. Someone who can hustle the table with a big stack.
And finally, it seems a poker game can teach us all about men. Well, that's according to Ally McBeal star Anne Hesh, who recently sat through lots of poker games to study the way men chat and interact with each other. But surely a woman in the mix would change the group dynamic. Unless, of course, she was undercover, dressed up like a man. But remember, you didn't hear that from us. That's all from me. I'll see you next time.